Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. The Prime Minister is leading a grand roadshow. His first roadshow in the city of Kolkata. Remember, this is the city where the BJP, the Jansangh, actually one of its first two seats from. There is a historical legacy that the BJP has with Kolkata. 9 seats of West Bengal will vote on the 1st of June as part of the last phase. This is the Prime Minister flanked by Shubhendu Adhikari, the leader of opposition in Bengal Assembly, and Shukanto Majumdar, the BJP president of West Bengal, accompanying him. This is a prestige fight between the TMC and BJP, with Mamata Banerjee hailing from Kolkata and contesting all her elections from this place. Also, elections will take place in Jadavpur. The Prime Minister also campaigned in several parts of South Bengal today. Jadavpur is where Mamata Banerjee won her historic election against Somnath Chatterjee in 1984. So that's the Prime Minister from Kolkata. And leading a grand roadshow there. He's also going to pass through Swami Vivekananda's ancestral house, and he's also going to be part of some events with Ramakrishna Mission. Could also possibly visit Mayar Bari, which is considered the publication office, the office of the magazine of Ramakrishna Mission, an organization that Prime Minister has been associated with since his youth. Meanwhile, Karnataka Home Minister Dr. G. Parameshwara has said that the decision to arrest JDS MP and prime accused in the sex video case, Prajwal Revanna, at the airport upon his arrival in India will be taken by the special investigation team. In fact, Prajwal Revanna, like we know, is the grandson of former Prime Minister Deve Gowda. He is accused of sexual assaults on several women, also of videographing them without consent, and he faces arrest when he returns to the country. All this comes a day after Prajwal Revanna released a video claiming that he will appear before the SIT and also join the investigation on Friday. The Home Minister also reminded that Prajwal's documents, remember he is on a diplomatic passport, will expire on the 31st of May. If he loses the election, he will lose immunity and automatically his diplomatic passport will also be seized. That is what the Home Minister said today. This is about justice to multiple women in the over 2,700 videos that were shot by Prajwal Revanna, women who have suffered for years. So clearly, there are two questions that we ask tonight. Will Prajwal Revanna come back as he claimed he would? And why did the blue corner notice issued by the Interpol against him did not turn into a red corner notice? And also more questions. Will he be arrested soon? And what happens if he doesn't come back? And will the SIT work in a reassuring way? That's what we'll discuss tonight. Joining us is a panel of esteemed guests. But first, let's listen in to what the Home Minister of Karnataka, G. Parameshwara, said today.
I don't know anything about that, but yes, I also saw the video, and he has said that he will appear before the SIT at 10 o'clock in the morning, 31st. Then the legal process will continue.
But would he be arrested? Would he be arrested, or what if he surrenders?
No, if he surrenders, surrender means because there is already a blue corner notice. There is already 41A where he has to appear before the SIT. All these notices have been given, and charge sheet on so many things will be done later. Now we have to find out the truth.
Okay, joining us now is Nagaraj Yadav, who's the Karnataka Congress spokesperson. We also have Rajlakshmi Joshi, who's a political analyst who supports the BJP, and we have B.S. Arun, who is a senior journalist. Starting with you, Mr. Yadav, it's very interesting that Prajwal Revanna, of course, a JDS MP, left India on the 27th of April, just a day after voting for his elections took place. Now he is saying that he will come back on Friday, join the investigation. Your own minister, State Home Minister, is saying that the SIT will decide whether to arrest Prajwal Revanna immediately after he lands in the airport or not. How much of this do you see as happening, and how serious is the government in this whole pursuit of Prajwal Revanna to ensure justice to hundreds of women?
Government of Karnataka is committed to enforce the law. It doesn't matter who is the person involved with this, whether it's a Prime Minister, grandson, or a layman. Law is same to everyone in this country, and that will be upheld. This is the assurance and promises which I can make on this NDTV today. The Home Minister and the Government of Karnataka has made it very, very clear. Law of the land will be enforced at any cost. Now the matter comes here when a person is left after the not next day after the election. On the election day itself, he happened to leave the country and go. Having a diplomatic passport, he used the diplomatic passport and he just escaped from this entire episode. This entire episode came to the public domain 3 days before the elections. When this matter was in the public domain, it is a duty of that family which is represented the country as the Prime Minister, Mr. Deve Gowda, and his son was the Chief Minister twice in the state of Karnataka, and his father and his mother was an active politician in the state of Karnataka. They should have taken some moral responsibility to hold the son, and they should say that he will surrender before the law when their allegations have come. And moreover, he happened to say yesterday in his video, saying that it is a pre-decided program. When it's a pre-decided program, why is he not informed the authorities that he is traveling? Where is the travel program of his? Why the family doesn't know the pre-decided program across the country? Right. And any candidate will go after the polling is over and without discussing with the party workers to know which booth, what has happened. Anybody living that, can anybody believe it? Right. If the Prajwal Revanna, according to his statement, what he made in the video, by saying that it is a pre-decided program to go abroad, then why it was not informed to the as a travel program of a member of parliament holding a diplomatic passport? It is bounden duty as a diplomatic passport holder. He has to inform the Ministry of External Affairs that he is traveling to a different country. Which is very, very clear. He's violated the diplomatic passport conditions, as well as he has taken more than 2,900 women who are seen in this video, which is not acceptable to anybody in this country.
Absolutely.
Our country has great respect for women, and this man doesn't deserve any reservations for him.
Absolutely, Mr. Joshi, how would you see this entire case? Because there are multiple reports that suggest that local leaders had raised apprehensions about the candidature of Prajwal Revanna. If you listen to the bites, or if you listen to what Deve Gowda or Kartik Gowda, in some ways the people who actually brought out the controversy first, even there, what they said highlights the fact that this was something that was known in local political circles. Yes, even despite that, Mr. Revanna got political heavyweights to campaign for him, and he also stood for elections. There was clearly some problem, isn't it? And even when the case came out first, there were attempts to, that were made to trivialize it, because I remember his father saying that, these are old videos, what should one do about it? So clearly, how do you think that the ruling party, the BJP, should be looking at something like this culture of impunity which the leadership has often spoken against?
Yes, Vasudhaji, this is a very concerning matter, and you being a woman and me being a woman, there are no two ways about it. There is absolutely no question about it that this is a very grave injustice that is done to a lot of women. And not just that, the fact that the person in question, Mr. Prajwal Revanna, he has used his power and position to take advantage of the very women who sought help from him. That is even more concerning. So, whom should a woman turn to if she needs help in any particular constituency? So that, I think, this person is definitely not capable of holding any public position. That is what I feel after listening to whatever I have heard about him and whatever I have read about this person. Now, there are certain questions that come to mind. That, I am not here trying to do any whataboutery or defending any person. But what I feel is no political party would want to, especially the BJP, who have absolutely very stringent restrictions about whom they will give a ticket to. They will not want to give a ticket to a person whose character is questionable. And so what I feel is, as Mr. Amit Shah has said, that they probably did not understand the gravity of the situation.
Absolutely.
Now, another thing,
Mr. Arun, how would you see this, sir? Because this is a family that has been. Yes, Ms. Joshi. Yes.
Just let me finish. Now, there are a few questions that come to mind. That the state government definitely was in know of things, because in December 2023. He has actually appealed, and he has applied for a stay order on certain videos. So at that time, as per Mr. Deve Gowda, he in the same letter that he states that he has admitted, or he has revealed.
Okay, I'll
or
come to
listened
Mr. Arun,
to
but
the
she's making an
because he
interesting
also-
point, Mr. Yadav. In
he
2023,
also spoke to-
Prajwal
he also
Revanna
spoke to
did
the
apply for
Congress leaders.
injunctions against, release of certain videos. So your government could have known about this, isn't it?
No. 23 December, when this matter came up, and definitely we are aware of this thing, what's happening, and we were not sure of what was happening because there no complaints were registered against it. But the idea is here, the alliance partner where BJP is supposed to be a bigger alliance partner of JDS, and Devraj Gowda was the candidate against Revanna in the assembly elections, where he had brought it to the notice of the Home Minister of the country and also said that we should not go in alliance with the JDS because the character like this should not be given a ticket. Overruling at that, and Kumaraswamy had informed Deve Gowda not to give the ticket, but still overruling everybody's statement, Deve Gowda announced a ticket for his grandson. And moreover, the biggest point is here, as Madam Joshi was telling, that this no compromise in the person's life in the public domain to have such a worst character. And the Prime Minister came and campaigned for Prajwal by saying, you give a vote for Prajwal, it is as good as giving a vote for Modi.
Okay.
How is this possible?
Okay. Mr. Arun,
Where are the morals gone?
how do
Where are the
you,
party-
that's an important point. See, because, the
Where are the
principle
party-
that I think all of us agree with is that parties in all situations should ensure that people in public life have high moral standards. But often, all political parties focus on winnability, which is why the, suffering of women actually continues. So, Mr. Arun, how do you see the politics of this playing out, sir? Because this is a family that is powerful in Hassan and also in, certain parts of Karnataka. What is going to happen with respect to the fault lines that have emerged in, JDS with respect to what Prajwal Revanna has done? And how do you see the future of the politics of not just old Mysuru, but also BJP and JDS evolving after this crime that is completely unpardonable?
Well, as far as Janata Dal is concerned, it's a huge setback for the party. As it is, the party was suffering because of the assembly elections defeat. They won just about 19 seats, which was nearly half of what they had, what they had got earlier in the earlier elections. So that was a setback, and that was the reason why the party had a tie-up with the BJP, so that it won't lose further face in the Lok Sabha election. Of course, it's another matter that BJP, which had not done very well in the South Karnataka, and JDS is the party which gets its vote mainly from South Karnataka. BJP also wanted a tie-up, so that was where the two parties came together. But the loss of face was because also of this Prajwal incident. Prajwal incident, as the panelists have already mentioned, was known earlier about Revanna, Prajwal's father himself had said that the video is 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So 5 years earlier itself it was known, or at least when the injunctions came, the state government was aware of this. Despite that, Prajwal was not arrested, number one. Number two, when Prajwal was flying out, that was, I'm sure the central government agencies were aware of that, that an MP who had a diplomatic passport was traveling. So in a way, both the state government as well as the central government were aware, but they may not be aware of the kind of, the gravity of the situation or the gravity of the case that was about to unfold. So It was a matter both for the government as well as for the party.
Okay, Mr. Yadav, how do you, he's clearly saying that it's not just state government, both center and state have to work together on this, because this is about women and justice to women. Mr. Yadav, I'm asking you very directly, how committed is your government to ensure not just the safety of victims, to ensure that, they also go through the trials and tribulations that, all the court cases will follow, and how much of, will you walk the extra mile to ensure that Prajwal Revanna, gets what he deserves, the kind of punishment that he deserves in India's, in our criminal justice system?
As we know, we work in a federal system. The government of India and government of Karnataka both have got the same similar responsibilities. Any citizen of this country, whether man or a woman, cannot go through this kind of humiliation at any cost. Given the point of this time, more than 2,900 videos of women being misused for people who came for help. Is this a way any political party can accept it? No. But knowingly this one, and BJP and JDS have gone with an alliance, and upon that, just because to win an election, just because BJP didn't have inroads in old Mysore, they compromised for everything. So power is not everything. If you want to protect the Constitution of India and the rights of women and the respect of the women, we cannot compromise like this. And BJP, especially Narendra Modi, I never expected him to compromise with a party like this, which is headed by the JDS, and there is a track record of the entire family is being questionable today. Because I don't know to spell out the cases what has gone through, and the father and the mother and everybody knew about the cases, the stay orders, what he's trying to get it in the lower courts.
Yeah, Ms. Joshi, would you like to yes, sir, I'll come back to you. Ms. Joshi, would you like to respond to that?
One thing I want to ensure is that the women who are victim in this case
Mr. Yadav, just let me respond, then you can rebut.
And Congress party and the Congress government will fight for
Mr. Yadav, let her respond, and then I'll come back to you, sir. Yes, Ms. Joshi, please go ahead.
Vasudhaji, what I find appalling is that the videos were released very conveniently a few days before the elections were to be held, and then the National Commission, the State Commission of Women were informed of this just a day before the elections, and that was on the 25th. Let me tell you the dates. So on the 25th, they were aware, the State Commission of Women in Karnataka. And then on the 26th, Mr. Prajwal Revanna, he is very sure that he is not going to be arrested on the 26th. So on that day, he votes, and in the night, he goes to the airport, and in the early morning of the 27th, he flies out, knowing very well that the state is not going to do anything about this. And the center was not informed of any of this, so they could not have taken any action about his passport. So in this case, I fail to understand how and why the state has actually been in connivance with Mr. Prajwal Revanna. I would so far go ahead as to say that. And why did they not stop him in a timely way?
Mr. Yadav, quickly, would you like to respond to that, sir?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Let me tell you. On 22nd, Prajwal Revanna's advocate Purna Chandra filed a complaint by saying that a few videos have been circulated here and action to be taken. At the time of the given point of time, election was almost polling dates were nearby, and the investigation officer had taken the note of these things, and he didn't want to get into political sense about it. And that was the reason no government authorities can interfere with the investigation.
Okay, the last word from Mr. Arun. Mr. Arun, yes, sir. Yes, we heard you. Mr. Arun, journalist to journalist, just tell me how much of this that you believe that Mr. Revanna is actually going to come back, and the state and the center are going to work together to ensure that women get justice. Mr. Arun.
I think as far as Prajwal is concerned, he has said that he will come back. The thing is, we don't know. Nobody knows his whereabouts except he himself. So, and how he is going to come, we don't know where he is, where he has escaped to. So, whether he is coming to an airport, whether he is coming by train, or how. See, he would like to avoid being arrested by the SIT. So, he would try his best to appear before the SIT himself. So, in other words, he would like to perhaps surrender or answer the questions that the SIT would ask. The SIT has already issued a warrant, which means that he is liable to be arrested as soon as they see him. So these are the two things that are staring us, especially staring in front of the state government and the SIT. The Home Minister, interestingly, he said yesterday that Prajwal would be arrested, but then today he is saying that it is up to the SIT whether to arrest or not. So this, for me, appears quite strange, because there is already a warrant against him. Now the issue is how the SIT will find him, whether they will go to all airports, whether they will be at the railway stations, or whether they will wait at his house. So that is an interesting thing to be seen on the 30th or the 31st.